I started a show 28 years ago called Video Music Box, and it was, and it still airs to this day on the same station, different channel. Channels have moved around, the owners have moved around, but we have continued to stay within the mix and within the mix of the community as well as the entertainment side. And you know, the whole idea of it was to document what was going on in my community, not just in the music, but, you know, from a social standpoint, you know, why are the cops harassing our young men? You know, why do we have, you know, teenage pregnancy? All of these different events, all these different things we brought up. Back in the days, there used to be something called the word segment, you know, and we bring out this type of stuff. And Hakeem talked about, you know, edutainment. You know, we use the music to draw people, young people in, so they would, you know, oh, we like Jay-Z, or we like KRS-One, or we like, you know, these various groups. And then we would drop some science on them. And, you know, and I can remember a time when I met Reverend Farrakhan, and you know, and I said to him, I said, look, you know, brother, this is what I do a TV show. And he says, man, you got a lot of responsibility, because those images that you put out on that screen and those words that you put out on that screen are very influential to our young people, because they don't read books, but they watch television. And the same thing now goes on the internet. You know, a lot of information goes out on the internet. It's so various and so, you know, too much information sometimes to me. But I'm not trying to censor anything. But we have to understand how to control and how to get our young people to kind of cipher out what's the good and what's the bad, if there is a good and a bad, or what is positive. Let's put it that way. And one of the things I thought about when I was listening to the brother speak over here was that hip hop was a pure art form when we first started. I was around before hip hop. I was around with disco and bands. We used to go to parties and there would be a band playing all your favorite records. And then we came the DJ, because the DJ you only had to pay $25, you know, and the band you had to pay $500. So financially for the promoter, it became a better situation. So the band hated us. You know, they were like, oh, these guys are gonna take our jobs, you know, and we did. Eventually we did. And you know, when the music started coming out, it was all pure. It was all, you know, just on the love. We were rapping, it was MCs and DJs and what have you. And when people started taking it to record companies, and the money lenders and the people behind the record companies started getting involved, that's when everything went wrong. Because the money lenders didn't care about our culture. They didn't care about anything. Wall Street could care less about the money, about where our culture goes. They just wanted to take the rap and they wanted to take the words. So we came out of the South Bronx with positive hip hop and positive rap, and people were talking about positive things. And by the 90s, late 80s, late and early 90s, we were talking about killing each other and guns and gangster rap. And that was because the finances from Wall Street had turned it into that. It wasn't because we even realized it happened, because we wanted to have nice things, and we took that money from the devil, and the devil then turned it into what it is today. So, you know, we have to be aware of what's going on around us, that it's a bigger force moving around us all the time, because we're all just naturally creative people. That's what we do. We create all the time. People are all around the world. When I touch down in Japan or I touch down in Africa, are just excited just to hear me speak, because they know that it's going to be something that maybe they haven't heard before, and something creative, and it's coming from America, and they want to know what it is. But we have turned, this hip hop thing has kind of turned in, it's got its good points and its bad points. You know, look, we put a lot of people to work. You know, there's a lot of jobs. I direct videos. Bob is an attorney. CL promotes music. Bob is on the radio. We all, you know, have different things that we do. But at the same time, there is a culture, and it is our culture, and we have to be aware of our culture and be able to bring that back. So if I'm doing an interview with Lil Wayne, I'm going to bring some culture into that interview. Somehow or another, we're not just going to talk about your latest single. We're going to talk about some culture. Even if you don't really know it, and I know he knows it because he's a smart guy. And I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to talk about it. So that's the way it has to be done. We have a responsibility, me as a media person, and that's what I can speak of, talk about the things that are important to our people, to our young people, because they're very influential, and they watch everything that we